Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the oh, IGCSE ICT grade 10 class. So, I'm following the exact Edexcel concept and the structure. So, technically, according to the Edexcel structure, we are supposed to start with the Unit 5 and Unit 6 for grade 10. So, you don't have to worry about that much because unit 5 is anyway it's a straightforward theory module. So we talk about data and we talk about few interesting stuff, and then unit 6 is all about the practical paper. So now what I love about this ICT is the ICT second paper. It's actually quite interesting and easier if you really focus on it, and if you just practice it a little bit, you can easily score good marks on it because it's just all about almost straightforward and practical. Yes. Hi.
English नहीं है बोल में.
Hello. How the way? Yeah. Okay. So,
नहीं काम को करने.
Siluni. Yeah, Siluni, where are you at school right now?
Currently, I am homeschooling.
You're homeschooling. Ah, nice. Okay. So, how far are you? Have you studied into this? So, you are doing the exam next this year. This year, right?
This year May.
This year, May. Okay. So, are you going on a kind of like a fast track medium or
Fast track.
fast track? Okay. So, when did you start? When did you start this? Like, I mean, when did you start IGCSE?
Last year, sir.
Last year, Hari. Okay, so that means you started it. You started in September.
June.
Ah, you started in June. Ah, okay, okay, okay. So far, what have you done in the syllabus? Up to what extent? ICT.
I am going to other classes in other subjects, but I am not going to ICT classes yet, sir.
Ah, okay, okay, perfect. Okay, super, no problem. We will start from here. Then we can. If you can turn your cameras on, really, then it will be much more interactive. Yes. Hi. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, now I can put a name to the face or face to the name. Okay. Perfect. So now this is okay. So I will be uploading the video which we did yesterday where we talked about the theory part of the IGCSE ICT, and I went through the paper and I showed how the paper markings and how that structure is done. So that video will be uploaded later tonight. I will share it in the group. So please do go through it, and there I explain how the papers are structured and how the marking is being done. So compared to computer science ICT, again, since you are not there, I'll just explain it in a brief. So this is quite easy. Easy කිව්වට ගොඩාක්ම easy ගන්න නැත් එපා. හැබැයි compared to computer science, yes, it's straightforward. And then we do have two papers. We have the theory paper, most paper one, which is 1.5 hours, and this paper two is the practical paper where we have to basically practice, and you get a certain set of tasks to complete, and you need to go through it. So watch the previous video, that then you will get a clear idea. So now for this we have altogether 6 units. So usually the plan is when you get into grade 10, you focus on unit 2, unit 5 and unit 6. So this is about data and how to apply data into ICT, and Unit 6 is about entirely softwares. So let's do it in a way. So let's jump into this one, as well as Siruni, you can actually join the other class as well, which is on Friday. At least if you can't join, just let me know. I will give you access to the videos so that you can go through both. Okay.
I'm doing the other subjects in another platforms.
Other subjects, no, I mean ICT, I mean not the other subjects, I mean the ICT. So I started a grade 9 class on Fridays. So let me know, I will give you access to that as well, so that you can watch those videos. So then by the time we finish this up, you will have at least a set of videos for about like about 4, 5, 6 modules done. Okay, so that would be the, yeah, that would be the easiest way to start from. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Yanuka, how are you?
How is it?
So yeah, are you schooling or and
I'm schooling.
yeah, schooling, perfect. Where are you at, like which
I'm
unit are?
in Casper.
Okay, perfect. So now when it comes to the ICT syllabus, where are you guys now at school?
It's in like handling data part.
Handling data part. Okay, okay. Handling data part. Nice. Okay. So what I planned was to basically start from the unit 5, because ideally unit 1, sorry, 1 to 4 should be fine finished by the first year, and then 5, 6 is focused for the second year, and then you go for the exams. So I'm going to start from unit 5, and then we'll go for unit 6, and then we'll jump back and cover up the rest in the revisions. Okay, hope it sound good. Right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so applying information and computer technology. So applying ICT on day-to-day basis data or different types of activities. So let's jump in and see so what it is. So in this module, guys, I'm not asking you guys to write anything, because this is just a theory part where we talk about how to apply these data points, and in the next unit number 6, we have to practice it. Okay, so that would be an actual practicing part where we will be opening a spreadsheet and doing some basic stuff. But basic, you are a basic model, don't take it easy. Yeah? You need to practice. Okay, perfect. So the concept, now I hope you guys already know about this book and the structure and all, how to read it, and watch the previous video. I'll share that video again so you guys can get that idea. So anyway, here in this module we focus on few simple points. So the learning objectives focus on using the following softwares effectively, like word processing, database management, spreadsheets, web authoring, some HTML stuff, and presentations and graphics. Okay, so web word processing, it's always Word, Microsoft Word. And for the database management, we do have couple of softwares. So let's see what you guys have done. So spreadsheets, obviously it's Excel. And for web authoring, we will be using some web development parts, and we have to develop few web components in the system. So far, have you guys done anything related to the unit 6?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so uh, at school, or you just followed it?
I practice with my dad.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's great. Okay, so then that would be just a walk in the park for you. Okay, so from these set of items, I think the challenging ones are the database management and the web authoring thing. So those two are the challenging ones. The rest is almost day-to-day practice. Okay, super. So you get some questions about how to use this data and the appropriate software to be used, as well as we'll be talking about different types of data. Okay, as well as text, numbers, images, and whatnot, like email animations and all, how we need it, as well as then the next side we have few more options where we talk about why we need to show and organize this data into a specific purpose, why we need it, I mean to achieve a specific purpose. Likewise, there are some points, let's jump in and let's just dive deep and see how it works. Okay, so effective and appropriate use of software. Now, when it comes to ICT, this is a primary point where people have so many different types of softwares. Okay. Now, example is, okay, I will give you a small brief history and then you guys can easily understand. So if you go back, like way back, when Microsoft Access was released. Okay, so back in 1998, 1990, yeah, from that time period, we most of the people use Microsoft Access because that was the most easiest solution to come up with a database. You had a simple method of creating a database, and on top of Access, we had multiple different types of platforms where you could have you could build other different types of databases and applications. Example is me long time ago, anyway, about almost about 25 years ago. Uh, Point of sale systems, people used Microsoft Access to enter um, sorry, used Access as a point of sale system. POS කියන අපි shops වල තියෙන point of sale systems where you enter some numbers and basically control the inventory and all. So we used it like that long time ago. And what happened was then the technology evolved and we got access to other types of technologies very easily. Nowadays, let's say if somebody wants to start a business and you wants to start a shop, you can easily go and register on Shopify, and just like that you can build an e-commerce portal. Plus that e-commerce portal will give you an administrative let's say an administrative access or a dashboard where you can use as a point of sale system. So basically your website and your shop would use the same system. Okay, so that's the evolution of the software and the yeah, that's the evolution we see right now. So now the problem is, now we have to we jump into a position where we need to understand what type of softwares to be used for that particular purpose. Okay, now here we don't go in depth. Okay, so this is uh, IGCSE is O level, so we basically touch the surface on what it is and we talk about software principles. That's it. So here we have type of applications and we have a set of tasks. So guys, just remember the points, because now when it comes to, you get some like simple MCQ questions for these, like giving you few answers and asking you what type of an application will it support, or will it sorry, what type of application you need to achieve that task. Okay, so writing letters, writing menus, producing reports, all these, like whatever the content related to editing through a system, sorry, through a PC, then obviously you can use a word processor. And database management, now it's a broad topic because we have so many types of databases now. So basically the tasks is entering, editing, searching specifically, and producing reports. Now let's say if Yenuka has a shop and you have an inventory system, now you need reports, right? So reports are the primary point behind having a shop. So example is my company, we are the technology partner behind multiple big brands in Sri Lanka. So they have different requirements, because there are some brands in Sri Lanka who gets couple of thousand users a day or couple of thousand customers a day. So they need to have like extremely accurate reports, because they have to keep on track of what is exactly going on, right? They need to see how many sales have been done and so on and so forth. So for that, the database has should be able to generate all these things. Then graphics, primary point when it comes to creating images and manipulating and editing images, right? And then type of application, web authoring. So web authoring is, you guys know what it is, it's basically creating a web page, right? And presentations, I think you guys love presentations. And so these are like entirely focused on multimedia, so creating slides to display multimedia content. And finally we have spreadsheets, so spreadsheets are to perform calculations, right? So I know you guys might have known this, but I went through it again just to give you a refresher. Okay, so difference. So now these are the type of data, and these are the type of tasks, and these are the type of applications we will be using to basically perform or process these tasks, right? Then what's the whole idea behind processing? Now this is what is important, right? Okay, so now before I the jump into the content in the other side, so just keep in mind, guys, when you look at this type of blocks, okay? So these blocks, be careful, they actually contain some specific information which you can highlight and keep, because these are usually questioned. Okay, now we know this thing called the subject vocabulary. So the subject vocabulary is the one which is being used throughout the entire subject or the module, where you have the specific keywords. Okay, so you have the keyword here called data, and you have the keyword here called information. So this is just a paragraph, but if you can just keep that highlighted, and or write it down in your book, so that it will basically help you remember. But we will be anyway covering this up, yeah, later on. Okay, so jumping back to the other side. Okay, so information and data. Okay, හැමදාම අපි කතා කරන දෙයක්, and every day we talk about why information is important, why data is important. Okay, so simple question. Sidoni, what is data and information? Well, sorry. From your perspective, I mean, don't read this. From your perspective, what do you think data is? Give me an example. මොකක් හරි example එකක් දෙන්න බෑ. Even a simple example is okay. Or anyone. From your point of view, what do you see as data? Data is
Data is the binary numbers or something.
binary numbers. Yes. Yeah, it can. Yes, but think about a real world scenario. Think about a simple.
And it is those stuff, the numbers, that text, sounds.
Yes. Okay, yeah, numbers and text also correct. Okay, so I'll give you guys a very very simple example which you can keep in mind. So think about something like this. So just think about that. Okay, both of you use Instagram, right? IG.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So just think. Okay, so just think. You go to a place and you take a picture. You just go to a beach, take a picture, and you put it on Insta. Is that data or information? You just put the picture, that's it. You upload the picture and you don't put anything, you just post it. And that particular action, how do you define it? Is it creating data or is it information?
Just data.
It's just data, exactly. So in order for us to convert it into information, what do we need to add? Think, you know that. You literally know what is required, but you haven't thought about it like this, in this manner. Okay, when you create a post, what do you add before you post it?
Emojis.
Okay, emojis, okay. And what else?
And we did the color.
Okay, but when you post it, at the time of posting, what did you do? Immediately before posting.
It's like
Huh?
putting a thumbnail or something or something.
Oh, not putting a thumbnail. Okay, so we'll go through the process. You take a picture, you do some editing, not a video, I mean a picture. You just do some editing, and then you go to the final screen of posting it, right? In that screen, what do you add before you post? I mean,
Just posting it.
නිකම්ම පෝස්ට් කරලා මොකුත් දාන්න නැද්ද කමෙන්ට් එකක් මැසේජ් එක?
ඒක දානවා.
අන්න ඒක තමයි මං අහන්නේ. So
Ah.
now if you take a picture and if you just post it, okay, let's say you go to a beach, අපි හිතමු you go to golf, අපි Mount Lavinia beach එකට හරි ගාල්ලේ ගියා කියමුකෝ beach එකට ගිහිල්ලා. So you take a picture and if you just upload the picture, that's going to be data, right? That doesn't have any meaning to it. But if you go there with your friends and while you're having a good time, you take a picture of everybody, and in the caption you say, okay, I'm here with so and so and so and so, doing so and so and so and so at this particular location. Now what happened?
I'm putting music also.
Huh?
Music?
Yeah, you can add music as well. You can add a mood and you can add everything. So what are you now actually doing? You're processing the data, right? You're adding meaning to the data,
Yeah.
which ultimately it converts into information. හිතන්න මං දැන් ඔයාව IG එකේ follow කරොත්, if I see just a picture of you in a beach without any captions or any hashtags, I don't know. I might like it, I might not, but for me, it's just I will be like, where the hell this guy is, right? But if you add a photo, if you tag your friends as well as if you add a location, let's say you visit a hotel and you link the hotel and you put all the details in, then when I look at it, I'll be like, okay, he has gone on a trip with so and so and so, and he's feeling awesome. Right? You can do something like that. So that's the idea behind data and information. Okay, so that's how you basically control it. So you do get questions about writing examples of data. So example is now in this example, as you can see here, it's actually quite straightforward. So you can you have February. So if you have just the name as February, it doesn't make any sense. But then if you add a context to it, so if you add the context, then here what you're adding here is you are saying average temperature in Kenya. Okay, so February average temperature in Kenya. So that means the example of the information would be the warmest month in Kenya would be February, right? So you're basically giving out a context. Now here again, in this example, you can see we have a certain set of marks, okay? So these marks, these are, sorry, not marks, sorry. When you look at this at the first time, it will be just numbers, set out numbers, right? It's just 50, 59, 79, 81, so on and so forth. But when you add a context, now here you are saying that this is a set of students' marks. On the context, now then the example of so then now you know what this is. So now if you take this as an example, you can say grade 5 to 6, grade 5 to 9 student marks this, right? Likewise, so that is how you convert the particular data set into information. As well as I have no clue, but you both of you have textbooks with you, right? Do you need the soft copy?
I don't have the textbook, sir.
You don't have this one? Ah, okay. Hold on, I'll put it on the chat. You had a printed version. What do you have right now? මුකුත්ම නැද්ද නැත්නම් හරි okay, I sent it on yeah, it is getting uploaded. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it is still uploading. Give it a second, it will get uploaded. Yanuko, do you have the book as well?
Yeah.
Okay, is it a printed one?
Yeah.
Ah, nice, okay.
Sir, I only practice papers. That's why I don't have the book.
Okay, okay, okay. So you have already done the papers. Oh, perfect. Okay, so just yeah, it will take a bit more. It's still uploading. Yeah, it's still uploading, but then just download it. I don't think you need to print it out, but it's easy to stick with the soft copy. But if you prefer to get a printout, I there are some places in near the Sri Raivadanapura campus where they do print this. So you just need to give them the PDF and they will print it. And there are some places where they will deliver the book as well. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I don't recommend you to print it, but it's up to you. Okay, super. So now now this image is actually kind of puzzling for me as well because it says now example of data, but what I feel is this is a photo of a skin, but based on the data set, you can actually change it as well. So it says photographs taken on a cobble street, and it basically now example of information can be something totally else. Okay, so now I know these are not related with each other, but they basically show you how adding a context will change the idea of an image. So this is how um, these neural models work as well. Na? So machine learning models. So they also work in a specific way, AI models. So you have a certain set of data set, and what we do is we add a context to this data set. Okay, so adding a context to the data set means what we do is example. I'm just explaining you guys since we are talking about data. So what happens is we bind couple of data sets together. Example, we take a set of pictures, let's say dogs, ගන්නවා ෆොටෝස් 1000ක් විතර බලනවා අරගෙන then we create a sheet of data connecting image 1 is so and so breed, image 2 so and so breed, image 3 dog, breed, image for dog and breed. When we do that, and when that is created, then based on that information we can create a machine model, okay, and we call it a neural model. So what happens is then the machine automatically learns how to understand and how to categorize whatever the image which is given to it, and it gives you the output. Okay, so I just explained that because we were talking about that point. So the base concept about everything is based on data and its classification based on a context. Okay, if you guys want to learn more about AI and all, let me know. I can actually do some in-depth teaching as well, but not right now. Okay, so let's finish this up and see. So yeah, so this is the one part I explained. So getting into the context. So the context has to be um, a clear type of information. Okay. Now example it's like this. No. Okay. Mang honda example like so uh, sometime back. Me and a couple of my office, while I was working at an office, we went to a Chinese restaurant. Cutie joints තියෙනනේ කොහෙද කොල්ල පිටියේ තිබ්බ Chinese restaurant. It's a typical Chinese restaurant. We went there and we were having dinner, and full වටේ ඉන්නෙත් ඔක්කොම චීනෝ ටිකක්. හරි දෙකෙක්වත් නැහැ ළඟ පාස එක ලෝකල් මිනිහෙක් අපි ටික මැද ඉඳගෙන යනවා. And my friend, he was a bit off by that time, so he took a picture and bugger searched for a restaurant, search for the restaurant's name, and he tagged the restaurant name. Okay, so what he did was he added the context to that data, but the problem was he added a restaurant which was in Thailand or Bangkok. අපි මේ ඔෆිස් ඉවරලා අවස ගියේ ඒකට. He tagged the Thailand restaurant, and next day morning when we woke up, we have a huge set of messages, people scolding us. අඬ උඹලා අපිට කියන්න නැතුව දාලා ගියා නේද? අයියා අපිව දාලා ගියේ. At a certain point, I was also so confused. I was just going through the comments, and the comments are like most of the people are scolding us. Why did you all went suddenly? When did you plan this trip and all? And then only ultimately I noticed that he has tagged a restaurant in Bangkok, Thailand. Okay, so be careful. Context really matters. Whatever the data set is, how you define it, and the context you give to that data set entirely matters on how it's going to be structured. Okay, so that's a bit of a point which you have to be very serious about, because that will convert whatever the data into information, and the information will be consumed by people. Okay, nice. Okay, so that's just an example about why we need to be careful. Okay, now different data types or different types of data. So here in this case, this is where we talk about the very utmost basic types of data. Okay, primarily we have text. So text is the most common data set we have, and in this data set we have the most possible way of producing it as well. So it can be from written content, or it can be somebody's reports, books, whatnot. It can be multiple, it can come from multiple sources. So the only thing is we just need to make sure that it contains characters. Okay, so characters and symbols are used to write text. So we can have different types of texts. So the users of text as data would be words, email addresses, product codes, postal codes, names, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of different types of usages for that, right? So that is for data. Then we jump into numbers. So data and numbers, sorry, text and numbers. So numbers again, similar to text. Don't get this thing mixed up. So text and numbers. So text can contain numbers, but what we call as numbers is primarily integers, decimals, currency, or percentages. Okay, so these are the ones we call as numbers. Because if you take a postal code, sometimes in different countries, postal codes contains different characters like what do you call it, like characters and letters and so on and so forth. So then that cannot fall under the category as numbers, because numbers has to be exactly integers or anything related to numeric data. Clear? All good now? And the possible methods of producing some meaning out of this data would be graphs and charts, right? So because without, so what we do is we take in the numbers, we crunch the numbers, and we produce some sort of an output. We have to produce some sort of an output, no? So that output would be primarily graphs and charts, right? And then why do we need this? Mainly it's to perform calculations. So we will be using it to perform different types of calculations as well as predictions and so on and so forth, right? Okay, and then that's the idea behind images. So far it's okay, right? Am I too fast?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then we have images. I'm just going through it fast because may have simple Devatika and Nisa. You guys already know this, know this up to a certain extent. So images, image data is again can be in multiple different types. So we have bitmap graphics and vector graphics, and for some information we have this different types of bitmaps where you have different compressions and quality ratios. So have you learned what is the difference between bitmap and vectors? Yenuka, what do you think?
No, sir.
Yenuka දන්නවද මොකක්ද කියලා? bitmap and vector.
Not sure, sir.
Okay, perfect. We'll go down and see. Okay, so then, yeah, so you do get a question where it will basically ask why we need to use these two different types of images. That's why. Okay, anyway, that's perfect. Okay, then for the methods of producing meaning out of image data is basically surrounding information such as the rest of the page, picture, text, or information, which will basically give some sort of a metaphor, semiotics for the image. So this is the example which I took a few minutes ago with IG. So you basically get something, you put it on IG, and you take a picture, you add the details, and you use it like that. So the usage would be primarily for logos and photographs. Okay. So now when it comes to images, there are so we don't go in depth in this. We are just going to scratch the surface, but there are different processing algorithms for images where you can now understand images based on its type. Okay, that's something different, but yes, you do have that as well. Okay, let me show what I'm talking about. That's easier. Then you guys will actually understand what it is. Okay, hold on. So there's this website called Kaggle. Okay, so this is the world's largest data community. Okay, so all the machine learning models, AI models, and all everything. So most of the time, about 90% of the time, people what they do is when they create a model, when they create an AI, when they are going to create a AI model, or when they have created something, what they do is they contribute their data model to Kaggle. Okay, so you can check this out. It's just kaggle.com. Okay, and here the fun part is you can go into data sets. Okay, and you can see so many different types of data. Okay, massive lots and lots of data. Okay, so see how many different types are there. Okay, let's just search for something simple. Let's say cats. Okay, so we can find it. We have 16,122 results, okay, about cats. And here let's take a cat. Let's take a cat version. I just want to show you guys how this context or the meaning is added to this. Okay, I'll just take the first one, cats versus dogs classification. Okay, this is real AI model training. Okay, so here you have the list of items, you have the code on how to do this. So this is not we are after the input. Oh, for me information research projects. Okay, no, pet images. This was what I am after. See, and nothing, no cat study. See, all these are cat images. Okay, so this is how you do. Okay, so let's say Sirani wants to create a AI app where when you look at a cat with your phone, you want to identify whether that that's a cat or it's a cat, right? Or if you try to scan a cat image, you need the system to predict that it's a cat. This is how you train. Yeah, there is 12,471 cat images. Okay. Now after this, okay, there are some weird ones as well. And if you go to dogs, let's say dogs. See, it's all dogs. So different types of pictures. So these can be some pictures archived or from taken from the internet or taken from social media and so on and so forth. So what happens is now they have a big database. So MSLR, let's just download it and see. Now, okay, so now what you guys saw now was basically the data set, no? Now, it's asking to download. Okay, so what you guys saw right now was the data set. But now what we have is, let's just check what this is. Okay, this file is not technically downloading, no clue why. So I hope you guys can see this file. So there's this file here, this one. So technically this file contains a classification of all the cats and dogs. Okay, so this will, okay, 1 second, I'll switch the camera. Nice. Okay, so this will, as I showed you before, so that has all the cats and dogs pictures, and in that file, it, if you guys noticed, each and every file had a specific ID, right? A file ID. So now what in the Word file, what you have is, oh, that particular data file that has a mapping. So it says cats folder 0001.jpg is what? Which type of a cat? A sleeping cat or a Persian cat or likewise. And then once we use that code to program the model, then all you need to do is next time when you when you send a cat picture to the system, it will automatically understand what this is, and then it will let you know that is certainly a cat. Okay, I hope it's clear. So that is how this whole AI thing works. That's what we know call as training a model. Nice. Okay, so that is about images. The reason so I just want to show you guys how images are being used for training and models. Then we have animations. So animations, this is pretty old. So this Flash files, you guys will never. I don't think you have ever heard about a system called Flash. That was there a long time ago, like almost about 20 years ago. We used it almost about 20 years ago, but now that's not being used anymore. But still, sometimes people call them animation files, so WF files. But mostly these are files known as GIF. Okay, so what they do is they basically produce a method of animating data. So this animation will basically allow you to go through like styling and basically provide different active information to the user. Okay, and where do we use it? Primarily on web banners. So all these advertisements and animated images you guys see online, those are GIF images. So since we have a part where we talk about web authoring, that's why the GIFs are there. Okay, and then finally we have our final competitor, sound. So sound is also something very uh, let's say precious when it comes to processing, right? Yanuka, do you play games?
Yes,
Have you played Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm playing shooting games.
Okay. Do you have a PlayStation? No. But
No, still. I have it.
okay.
Father, thank it.
Ah, okay. So Spider-Man was released
I'm
for
playing
the.
God on that.
Sorry,
I'm playing God on that.
on the PS PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. COD, which COD?
The latest on the version.
Ade, okay. You have a PS5 or 4?
I can't remember.
PlayStation මොකක්ද තියෙන කළු එකද සුදු එකද?
කළු එකක් තියෙනවා.
කළු එකක්. Okay, then that means it should be a PS4. Okay. I have a PS4 Pro, but then I bought a Steam Deck. You have seen the Steam Deck, ne? දැකලා තියෙනවනේ Steam Deck එක handheld device එක.
හා?
මං ඒකක් ගත්තා මේ ලස්සන වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ Steam Deck එකේ Call of Duty ගහන්න බෑ. I'm a die-hard Call of Duty fan. I used to play the Call of Duty mobile also, but the problem is now due to some sort of a security issue. Now you can't play Call of Duty on Steam.
මොබයිල් ගහන්නත් බෑ සර්. මේ අලුත් අප්ඩේට් එකෙන් පස්සේ වර්සන් ගහන්න බෑද? මොබයිල් වල.
නෑ ඇයි මොකද?
අනේ මම දැන් ඊට පස්සේ අර ඩස් ට්‍රැක් කියලා දෙකක් ආවේ.
නෑ මං අහලා දෙන මං ගහලා නෑ. ඒකත් මේ Call of Duty වගේමද? CODමද? Similar to COD or need to try it out.
සර්.
Sorry. Yeah, I think
Connection, yeah.
I think we lost it. මේ ඒකත් Call of Duty වගේම එකක්ද නැත්තම්? Similar to Call of Duty?
Huh?
That other game, is it similar to Call of Duty?
Yeah, the ඩස් ට්‍රැක්.
Okay, need to check it out.
Yeah, you can play anytime else. I'm playing it.
Okay. I've been like stuck with the Steam Deck for a long time. ඒක interesting that it's almost a complete machine. You can play all the games.
ඒකේ ෆ්‍රෝසන් හොඳයි. ටීවී එකේ ගහද්දි.
Forza එක. මේ Forza Horizon එක මම තාම download කරලා. Forza Horizon එකේ size එක කීයද දන්නවද?
ඒක වෙන සයිස් එකක් තියෙනවා මම රෑ ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරේ.
මම දැන් download කරනවා Forza Horizon එක සති සති 3ක් විතර තිස්සේ. ඇයි ඒක 135 gigabytes.
එතන ගානයි.
ඉතින් ගේම් එක මේ ඩෙක් එක ප්ලග් කරලා තියන්න ඕනේ Wi-Fi එකෙන් කීයටවත් download වෙන්නේ නැහැ එච්චර. So I still have like about 25% to download. At least මේ weekend එකේ හරි ඉවර කරන්න ඕනේ ඒක. නැත්තම් වැඩේ කරන්න බෑ because I only yesterday only I got the unlimited connection. Now SLT gives you unlimited connections, huh? I got the unlimited one activated yesterday. So now need to download it. Anyway, okay, let's jump back. So yeah, sound. So sound, we went through all the types. Now sound. So possible method to produce meaning from sound is actually a little complex because either you have to put the sound through some sort of a digital to analog converter, and then the sound it should go through some sort of sound card, and then it should be basically read by the system. So uses of sound is basically for music and speech. So sound is actually one of the, if you guys know, this is one of the most hardest things to program or capture. Because now example අපි හිතන්න නැති දෙයක් තියෙනවා. දැන් vocabulary එකක් කියන එක. Now the language we speak now, we speak Sinhala and we speak English, we have Tamil as well. But now, so since I'm coming from a Sinhala background, we still have a kind of like a mix වෙච්ච සිංහලන්නේ තියෙන්නේ. Mix වෙච්ච සිංහල කියන්නේ like we don't talk pure සිංහල no. So දැන් මම කතා කරන එකත් English වචන එකතු වෙලා කතා කරන්නේ. මම 100%ක් පියෝ සිංහල කතා කරන්න පියෝ සිංහල කතා කරන්නත් බෑ ඒකනේ ප්‍රශ්නේ. So now when it comes to sound processing, that problem is there because each and every language has adapted different words from different languages, and it's so hard for these type of processing to be done. So that's why now this chat agents and AI chatbots, now they have been optimized into a massive level. Now they can understand it, but then again still it takes some time. Okay, before we jump into the next part, my quick question, Sidonia and Yanuka, do you guys use ChatGPT? You have ChatGPT
Yes.
installed?
Yes.
You have that?
All the X.
You have installed it as well?
Insta?
මේ install කරලා තියෙන phone එකේ?
ෆෝන් එක නැස ලැප් එකේ.
අයියෝ.
ෆෝන් එකේ අර Gemini කියලා තියෙනවා.
නෑ phone එකේ ChatGPT use කරන්නේ නැද්ද මේ voice එක? ChatGPT එකේ, so once you install ChatGPT, you have this small voice මේ තියෙන mic එක. හරි. අන්නේ mic එක press කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. දැම්මහම mic comment. Okay, so it's still loading. Hello.
Hi there, how's it going?
Hey, how is everything?
I'm doing great, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Glad to hear it. Anything exciting going on?
So install it and see. You can actually have a nice, decent conversation with this guy. So
Gemini also there.
Gemini also there, but මං හිතන්නේ මේ මං try කරලා නැහැ. I haven't tried it. I use this a lot. I recently went to Jaffna and went to නාගදීපේ. නාගදීප ගිහිල්ලා හරි නාගදීපේ ස්ටෝරි එක මතක නැහැ. Then I asked this guy. මුළු ස්ටෝරි එකම කිව්වනේ ලස්සනට. About 6-7 minutes. Complete story, the Buddha story, what they did and all those stuff. ලස්සනට ස්ටෝරි කිව්වා නිකන් අර මොකක්ද අර අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ නඩේගුරෙක් එක්ක යනවා වගේ කියලා. වැඩේ කරා ලස්සන. Okay, so try that out. So now the technology has evolved a lot, so now it works perfectly. But then again, there are different languages which still it requires some support. මේකට සිංහලෙන් කතා කරාම මම කතා කරලා පෙන්නුවේ නෑ මේ since this is going to be on YouTube, but try it out. සිංහලෙන්නුත් interesting. You can talk with him or her up to a certain extent.
අපිට ඒ වොයිස් එක චේන්ජ් කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද?
පුළුවන්. මම දාන් ඉන්නේ girl voice එකක් ඔයාට ඕන එකක් දාගන්න පුළුවන්. මම දාන් ඉන්නේ clearම voice එක. මට මේක තමයි ගොඩක්ම මේ ටිකක් clear voice එකට හම්බුනේ. අනිත් ඒවා okay, but they are not clear as this one. Okay, so now since we went through the different types of data, now we jump into a point where we need to enter, organize, develop, refine and format this set of information so that we can apply different types of editing techniques to edit the content according to our needs. Okay, so let's see how it works. Now here again, you guys mostly know about this stuff, but remember the points because you still get some questions here and there about this. So okay, so word processor, as we understood the type of content. So yes, you enter text, images, graphs and charts, and you get the organization tools, right? What are the organizing tools? These are the basic tools which you will be using to organize the structure. You just copy paste something and you can add paragraphs, you can add headings, you can have bullet points, you can have tables, you can wrap it up in blocks, and you know the typical drill when it comes to word processing, right? You get the option to perform all these type of actions. That is organizing. Then develop. So developing part, develop is mainly about adding captions. You can add images, and as well as you can basically build duplicate text and images and build the text, right? And then you have the refining part. So refining is the most important thing when it comes to word, right? Because you get the option to spell check and come up with this like a thesis type of a thing, as well as ultimately you have formatting. So formatting is the next most important thing, because when you create a document, that has to be formatted, right? So formatting, you get styles, you get colors, you get option to export, and you get to resize it according to different font sizes. I mean, not fonts, page sizes, and so forth. Okay, so I hope that line is clear. Then we jump into databases. So databases, so what you enter is basically data into tables, right? And then the organizing part. So how do you organize a database? Simply you sort and filter. That's it, right? So you put the data in and then you filter it out. Filter, yeah, editing part can be also done, but then again, that's the primary goal behind it. And then development wise, new fields, yes, that is something else. But keep in mind, this is the most important word, relationships. Okay, so data must have relationships. So let's say Siluni goes to a gym and she gets a gym membership, and so when she purchased the gym membership, you go and buy a yearly package for, let's say, 100,000 a year, right? So you have purchased let's say they have 3 packages: the entry package, the mid package, and the full package. Let's say you have purchased the mid package, right? Then let's say okay, Yanuka is the gym owner, and so I'm the developer, or let's say I'm the one who's running the gym. So Yanuka comes to me and says, Mr. Vipula මට දෙන්න mid package ගත්තේ කී දිනාගේ mid package එක purchase කරපු අයගේ details ටික. Okay, now I should be able to sort the database according to the package type which people have purchased. So mage database එකේ there has to be two data types. One is members, right? That means you, Siruni, and we have packages or memberships, right? So memberships would be another table where you will have another separate entity where it will connect your profile and the membership page into a data set. So that means I should be able to sort or filter by package to find out who purchased what. So then I can immediately give it to Mr. Yanuka. I can say, Mr. Yanuka, okay, today Ms. Senali Siluni has purchased a mid-tier package, and as well as her, there has been another 5 more customers who got registered into the system. Right? That's how the typical databases are. Right? Okay, idea එක ආව නේද? All good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So that's the typical idea. So that's the development part. So I will be so when we develop it only, we will be creating that particular relationships in between so that we can sort and filter using the relationships. The next one is refining part. So this is where we refine to find out what is going on exactly. Now, if we take the same story I just told you, I would be adding validations and I will be grouping and I will run queries, typical types of queries, to make sure the data is correct. Example is so I can create a group of users with the package ID. Let's say අපි හිතමු membership ID එක number 2 කියලා. Then අපි හදනවා I can query for the group of users who has the membership ID number 2. Then I can get the details out. Then at the same time, formatting wise, yes, we have reports and exports. Then Mr. Yanuka ඇවිල්ලා ඉල්ලුවා දෙන්නේ බෑ මොනවද දෙන්නේ මම ජෙනරේට් කරනවා report එක මම කියනවා හරි සර් විනාඩියක් දෙන්න සර් මම ටක් ගාලා ජෙනරේට් කරලා දෙන්නම්. You go search, get the report, take a print out, මෙන්න සර් ගන්න කියලා දෙනවා. That's the idea behind a database. Then graphics almost straightforward. So you do have the items. So what you enter is basically text and images. So think about Photoshop. MS Paint you just enter some image or the text, right? And then what you do is you organize. You basically put it into layers, arrange it into layers, and positioning. You may focus on the positioning so that it will be positioned properly, right? And then what do you focus on? So when it comes to the development, as a graphic designer, what you would do is you would focus on resizing and let's say adding some animations, and now AI, right? You guys, I hope you guys have seen what you can do with Adobe Photoshop's new AI. Yeah? If you haven't seen that, go to YouTube or search on Google as Adobe Photoshop AI, and you're going to get your shoes blown out with what that system can do. Okay, so now this develop is actually mostly given to the AI part, but early days we still did it. Okay, and then refining part, yes, it would be filters, because you guys know, like when it comes to photo editing or photo management, sorry.
Also, we need to pay for the Photoshop, right?
That's the trick. They
Download it by privacy.
As far as I know, you can download, but that AI generation part, I'm not sure whether there is a way to bypass it. That's the thing. But give it a try and see. I'm not encouraging you to download pirated software. But I think, if you really want to try it out, you can get a trial. You get a 30-day trial, Mahitan. and ඒක try කරලා බලන්න. ඒක මරු වැඩට එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. You can actually select a area and ask it to fill it up. It will fill up the area with whatever the thing you ask it to do. ඒ කියන්නේ පාරක් කරන් ඒ පාර select කරලා you can change the road to something else. You can change the road to a river if you want. ඒක මාර සෑහෙන powerful එක. try කරලා බලන්න මේ if you have a I think you need to have a decent PC also. PC එකත් shape එකේ හොඳ වෙනවා. Not a very high end one, but it should run some filters. Okay, so then refining part would be filters, and then format would be exactly said the same thing. You would be exporting it, and sometimes you would get publishing options to publish it into internet or do some sort of a let's say if you're publishing it to a video, then you might get the option of publishing to a video, something like that. Then we jump into, okay, so I hope that's clear. Then we jump into web authoring.
So for the Photoshop trial, they asked him for $22.99 per month.
Even for the trial?
Yeah, 7 days free trial.
ඉන්න බාන මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? ඒක මාර කතාවක්. trial එකට who wants to pay for the trial? No, you don't have to pay. It says start a 7-day trial of Photoshop and get the full app and the latest update. You won't be charged until after your free trial ends. You will have.
They asked him for money.
Nah, it's free.
Nah, okay, PayPal එකකින් මේ account number එක දාන්න. මම search කරා. නෑ ඒක එබෝඩ පස්සේ මේ මම PC එකකින් ඉන්නේ. PC එක පාරේ.
ඔය මම link එක දාන්නේ නම් chat එකේ. නෑ try කරලා බලන්න. ඒක එන වැඩක් නේ උත්තර ගෙවන්න බෑ. මෙයා කියනවද මේ කියන්නේ Photoshop එකේ pay කරන්න කියනවද එහෙමද? Is it asking for anyway, check it out. Sometimes, yeah, I'm not sure whether they ask you to pay, but I had couple of my friends who gave me a call and asked මචං මේ අරක මොන හරි කරගන්න ඉදියක් තියෙනවද? And I also checked at one point. I normally don't kind of go forward with pirated software because of two
Yeah,
reasons.
send the image. They ask him for pay.
කොහෙද දැම්මේ?
chat එකට දාමු. එතන free trial කියන බටන් එක ගැන බලන්න තියෙන්නේ.
Oh yes.
ඒකේ බෝඩ පස්සේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම පෙන්නනවා. මේක දාන්න. දැන් ආපු එක.
ha. නෑ හරි. ඉතින් හරි මෙහෙමයි. Okay. හරි මේක හරි. So yeah, okay. This is correct. What you are getting is correct. So basically you have to put a credit card, but you don't get billed.
Yeah, that's it.
කාඩ් එකක් දාන්න ඕනේ. ඒකයි. කාඩ් එක දැම්ම නම් හරි. So all you need to do is you just need to put the credit card first, and then after putting the card only the trial will start. Yes. ඒකේ ඕකේ වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ මේකනේ. දැන් ඔයා කාඩ් එක දාලා ඔන්න දැන් ගැම්මට පටන් ගන්නවා ට්‍රයල් එක. ඕක සීකාල දවස් 7 ගියාටි $20ක් කමනවා. ඕක තමයි හැමදාම වෙන්නේ. ඕක වෙනවා ඕනේ තරම්. මට නම් වෙලා තියෙනවා සෑහෙන්න පාරලයි ඔය මේ ෆෝන් එකේ ටක් ගාලා බටන්ස් ක්ලික් කරලා ගන්නවනේ. එකපාරක් මම ගේම් එකක් ගත්තා ඔහොම කරලා. $20 ගානක මට එපා වුණා තියලා කවුරුත් ගහන්නෙත් නෑ නිකන් අර ඒ වෙලාවේ අර සමහරවිට ගහන්න ඕන නම් ප්‍රෙස් කරලා ගන්නවනේ ජේම්ස් ගන්න ඕනේ නාගේ මං අරන් තියනවා මොනවර දේවල් ටික මගේ ජීවිතේ වැඩිම ඔව් කියලා
අර ජේම්ස් ගන්නේ මොන නාමනේ පේ කරන්නේ
Yes.
ජේම්ස්
මං එකපාර බැටල් පාස් එකක් ගත්තා වැරදිලා.
වැරදිලා.
ඔව් ඒ කියන්නේ වැරදිලා කියන්නේ I have somehow approved it. මං කියන්නේ transaction එක approve වෙලා තිබුණේ. මේකේ අර එනවනේ මේ අපි කොඩ් එකේ අර අලුත් බැටල් පාස් එක ආපු හැටි මැසේජ් එකේ එන්නේ අර ස්ටාර්ට් වෙනකොට මැසේජ් එක ආවා. ඒකේ මොකක් හරි කරලා we just you click cancel නේ මං cancel මොකක් හරි ගාවා අවුලක් නැහැ. ඒක ඇවිල්ලා මේ ඩ්‍රෙස් එකක් ආවට පස්සේ තමයි දැක්කේ මට ඉතින් බැටල් පාස් එක කරන් කියලා. ඒක හැබැයි හොඳයි ඒක ගත්ත නිසා ඒක ප්ලේ කරාම I leveled up also a lot. I spent about
මම යන්නේ මේවට මේ අර එක ස්කින්ස් එනවා නේද?
මට ස්කින් එක තමයි ආවේ. yes. ඔයාලට මතක ස්කින් එකක් තිබුණා අර white ninja කෙල්ලෙක්ගේ.
නම් මතකත් නැහැ. අලුතෙන් ආවර මොන්ස්ටර් එකේ මොන්ස්ටර් මේ ටැටු එකේ තියෙන එක.
මේ මොකෙක්ද පොඩි නිකන් ඒෂියන් මිනිස්සෙක් නේද ඉන්නේ ඒෂියන් කැරක්ටර් එකක් වගේ.
මගේ වර්සන් එක.
ඔව් Warzone. ඒ හරියද Call of Duty mobile එකෙත් අපි what we play is Warzone නේ?
නෑ Call of Duty කියලා වෙනමක් තියෙනවා. Call of Duty Warzone කියලා ultra graphics දාලා ගන්න පුළුවන් තව එකක් ඇවිල්ලා අලුතෙන්.
මොබයිල් එකකුත් තියෙනවා.
ඔව්.
හරි මම ගිහුවේ Warzone තමයි. ඕවින මන් දැන් මමත් දැන් ට්‍රැක් අවුට් වුණානේ.
ට්‍රැක් එක.
ඕවින මොකක්ද දැන් මංගේ මොකක්ද Call of Duty මම මේකේ මේ නෑ ඔයා කියන්නේ මේ අනිත් එකනේ I played you are telling about this one නේ ඔන්න ඕකනේ
Yeah.
this one නේ යා මම ඒක ගහලා නෑ අටි
ඒ ගාන බාන්ස් ආසිතේ.
is it the same story
ඊට වැඩිය ඇබ්බැහිනා හිතනවට ඒ මාරු.
අප්පා ඕකේ එහෙනම් එපා මට අරක
ඇබ්බැහිනවා කියන්නේ I realistic graphics. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපි ඇත්ත මිනිස්සු වගේ නේ. ඒ ඇත්ත විතරම experience එක තියෙනවා.
අඩි ගහල බල ඉන්ස්ට්‍රාල් කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ. මම ගැහුවේ Call of Duty mobile එක අනිත් එක. ඒකේ I have a USB-C monitor at home. ඉතින් මම මේකට ගහනවා USB-C monitor එක. ගැහුවට පස්සේ මේක keyboard එකගේ මේක joypad එකගේ monitor එකෙන් ගහනවා. Otherwise මේ I have the ඒ monitor එකේ තියෙනවා මේ keyboard එකයි mouse එකයි connect කරන්න. ඒක දාලා මම ගන්නට මේකෙන් ගහනවා keyboard mouse ගහනවා. ඒකත් මොන ඒකත් ගහන්න පුළුවන් අමාරු ඒකට. ඒක හැබැයි ටිකක් ලැග් වෙනවා මොකද මේක මේ ඒ මොනිටර් එක 4K මොනිටර් එකක්. ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩක් සයිස් එක වැඩි නිසා ෆෝන් එකට අමාරුයි. මේකට මේ 15 Pro එකට බෑ එච්චර මේ 4K පුෂ් කරන්න බෑ. පුළුවන් බ්ලර් වෙනවා. මේ ස්නයිප් කරන්න එහෙම no point. Okay. හරි අමාරු ඔය ගේම් ටොපික් එක ඇදලා ගන්න එපෝ. අපි කතා කරන්න ගත්තොත් දවසම ගේම්ස් ගැන කතා කරන්න ඊට පස්සේ වැඩේ කරන්න නැතුව. I'll bring my Steam Deck once and I'll show it to you. Okay, so then we were talking about the graphics and yes, we have to talk about the web authoring. Let's try to finish this module up. Make hari chuttai thiyenne katha karanna. We can obviously wrap it up. So web authoring is mainly focusing about the text, images, buttons and animations. Now, when we say text, images, buttons and animations, it's technically not that's not what we enter. Okay, so we do enter a lot of different types of data. We add text, like we add information and so on and so forth. But then again, primarily we take it as these sets. As well as you can add something more. We do add images as well. I mean videos as well. Videos and other audio, all sorts of things are now there. And then for organizing, we use tables and frames. And then developing, it will be mainly navigations and hyperlinks. So basically you navigate to another page and you do that using a hyperlink. And refining, it can be menus. You can add a lot of items, but yeah, menus would be the best. And then formatting would be mainly about fonts enhancements, alignments, and graphical formatting. Okay, and then we have presentations. So presentation, simply what we do is same as web. We do provide text, images, buttons, and sound, video, all whatnot, all the content. And then apart from tables and frames, like as we saw here, what we do is we have content on slide and slides order, right? The order of the slides. So you guys already know these keywords, no? So in a presentation, what we have is slides, right? So and the slides are also ordered in a particular way so that it's it flows from the beginning first slide to the last slide, right? And then as a development, what do you do? So primarily, as per se, when developing, you might add animations and transitions, right? And then by refining part, when it comes to refining, you would be basically refining it using notes and timing, right? So when you're refining, so let's say when you're doing a presentation, there are certain points you have to be careful of. No, you have to add your lecture notes, you have to think about the points, and so on and so forth, right? So those things would be the refining. And the formatting, lastly, formatting would be having something like a master slide and fonts. So there's a lot of other things which you can add as well, animations and so on and so forth. But high level wise, that's the thing, right? Then we talk about spreadsheets. So spreadsheets, what do we enter? Simply number and text, right? Spreadsheets, we don't put images and all. You can put if you want, but normally we don't, right? And then organizing wise, now this is similar to a database, okay? So here again, what we do is we have the option of sorting, filtering, using columns and rows to basically display and sort the order, right? And then when it comes to the development, primarily it will be creation of functions, formulas, graphs, and charts. Okay, so all these things comes in build. So there's no point of using a spreadsheet if you're not willing to use formulas, and if you're not willing to use the functions which comes in build, right? So that would be the primary goal behind it. And then other way around, for refining, we will be mainly focused on chart features, as well as we have this thing called absolute referencing. We'll learn about it once we jump into that. And then again, format, it would be primarily cells, rows, columns, sheets, and print layouts. Okay. So do you guys know what is a print layout is? Siluni, do you know what is a print layout?
No, sir.
You have done some work with Excel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, before you print, what do you do? A print එකක් ගන්න කලින් මොකක්ද කරන්නේ? What's the step? A particular step you
Need to put one-sided, or like we need to choose A4, A5, like that.
Correct. Yes, partially correct. That means you're basically selecting the paper type, which type of paper you want that the print to be happen, right? Okay, so that's okay. But now, actually in spreadsheets, especially in Excel, we have this thing called a print layout. So what happens is, now Excel has a whole grid column, rows and column set, no? So you can add data as much as you want to any extent you want, right? The print layout will basically show you what can be fixed into that A4 sheet or A5 sheet or A3 sheet, whatever the sheet you are going to print. It will show you the print size and the content which can be put into that sheet. Okay, that's what we call as a print layout. Anyway, we'll see how it works once we jump into this. Okay, so now we went through the list of items about the about how data, sorry, what is the application, what do we provide, and how we organize it, how we develop it, how we refine it, and how we format it. Okay, so now let's jump into, so we covered up some high level points on this. Now let's jump into the point where we talk about the purpose. The මොකටද මේක කරන්නේ කියන එක. හරි. So why do we try to organize, or why do we, or when should you use an application to basically organize or achieve a particular purpose? Okay, so this is mainly like when you're developing a product, it's actually important for you to basically ask what's the exact requirement of that product, digital product. Okay, so I'll ask you a question. I've been asking this question from all the classes now. How do you guys know the concept behind fit for purpose? Yanuka, do you know that? Hari, okay. Let me ask you a question in a different way. Let's say, okay, what is your dream supercar? Supercar එකක් මොකද්ද තියෙන්නේ? ගන්න. දැන් සල්ලි තියෙනවා නම් මොකද්ද ගන්න?
V8.
V8 එක. V8 Jeep එකනේ. V8 මොන V8? වගේ Sahara Land Cruiser V8 එකක්ද? හරි, perfect. Land Cruiser V8 එකද ගමු. Perfect. ඒක හොඳයි. කාර් එකකුත් ගන්න ඕනේ කියමුකෝ. What would be the car you would buy? Tesla එකක්. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's say if you want to go, let's say you're going on a vacation to Yala, which vehicle you would use? Would you go on the Tesla or would you go on the Sahara V8? Obviously, it's the V8, right? Yala Yala gihilla Madagadal වැටි, you won't actually take a Tesla and go to Yala. No? Other way around, let's say you get an invitation to a hotel and to a wedding at a hotel. Then let's say in that case you want to kind of put a show off karanathonna, you might go in your Tesla, right? Right? V8 එකත් හොඳයි, V8 එක වැරද්දක් නැහැ, but then again you might prefer to go in your Tesla because it's small and easy, and especially it's an e-car, so electric car, right? So that's the idea behind fit for purpose. Okay, so when it comes to IT and IT peripherals and whatever the actions and things you are going to do, you always have to remember whatever the model or the system you are building, it should fit a specific purpose. Okay, මාවක නිකන් software side එකට ගන්න example එකකට හරි. Okay, අපි we'll take something we just discussed. Yanuka now අපි හිතමු if we take this Call of Duty, what's Warzone, right? Warzone එකේ අපි හිතමු what if the developers add an MP3 player into the game? Would you use it? What do you think? What is your personal opinion about it?
I just use it.
You might use it, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, if they add the feature for you to upload files and listen to the files while you're playing a game, would you use it? It's kind of defies the purpose of the whole application, right?
No. When I'm playing a card game, I play it. But I'm playing a shooting game, I'm not playing it.
Exactly, that's the point. Because like when you're playing a shooting game, we always try to listen very carefully, no? So මං උනත් මගේ headset එක දාලා full attention පිට ගන්න මොකද මොකද මෙහෙන් මොකක් හරි අහුනොත් ඒක බලන්න ඕනේ. So අඩිසද්ද ඇහෙනවනේ අන්න ඒක තමයි ලොකම දේ. So that attention has to be there. No? So what if those developers add the MP3 player into the game, obviously nobody is going to use it.
Yeah.
That's
Only for car games, it's okay.
car games. It's okay. Car games, you need that vibe. You need that music. Otherwise, it's not going to. Otherwise, it feels so weird. Yeah, that's it. So that's the same point we are discussing here as well. So when we basically create an application or when we try to build something, this needs to have a certain purpose. Okay. So the purpose is about it's basically something which we require this application to do. So now Spotify is a music tool and Spotify has only one purpose, to stream music. YouTube has only one purpose, to play videos. Now this was so the market was actually a little bit twisted up when it comes to social media because as you both know, once TikTok was released and when TikTok got some traction, everybody copied it, right? So TikTok is the first company in the world who came up with this what do you call it, like scrollable videos. So they came up with the platform 1 minute video, and what happened was then they increased the time into 2-3 minutes. Now I think now you can upload a couple of hours even, right? I'm not sure the length. So they gave that feature, but what happened was people started using TikTok immediately overnight. TikTok had a couple of million users. So Facebook and YouTube was like, okay, and they also jumped into the bandwagon. Facebook came up with Reels and YouTube came up with Shorts. And last day, until recently, LinkedIn didn't had anything like this. Now LinkedIn also has done the same thing. LinkedIn is a professional network, but still they also have added this videos thing. Now they also play videos. So that's how purpose changes when it comes to that type of businesses. And anyway, that's something else. Okay, so now you have the purpose. So when you're like building something, we have to come up with the purpose. Let's say we are building a presentation, then that presentation should have its own purpose. Then we focus on the user. So users are the people who will use or view the digital product that you produce. Okay. So okay, so now this I same example. We are talking about games. I'm just taking examples as that, so it's easy for you guys to understand. So okay, so let's say if we take this Call of Duty Warzone, now I am in my late 30s, but I was brought up in a background where I played games from like starting from Atari consoles back in 1990s, let's say. So now I will be a gamer. Like even if I at the point I am retiring from my like all the work, I will still have a gaming console and I will still game. That's me, okay? But now Yenuka, does your parents play games?
Yeah, my father plays.
Nice. Okay, PUBG, perfect. Okay, now okay,
But I don't know now he's playing because he's in Germany.
Who? What?
But I don't know nowadays he's playing
Yeah.
because he's in Germany.
He's in Germany. Okay. No, but then again, now I think this generation plays, right? But after that, now let's say if you want to get, sorry, let's say if you are building a game or Sidney is creating a new game queue, what would be the target audience? What do you think? It should be
Graphics.
No, you got it wrong. මං target audience කියන්නේ user base එක. කාටද මේ app එක release කරන්න කියන එක. Who is going to play this game?
Play Store.
Hmm? Sorry?
Play Store.
I don't know. I didn't hear you.
Play Store.
Yeah, that means where you are going to deploy it නේ. නෑ මම කියන්නේ user. අපි මේ දැන් කතා කරන point එක මේ your users are the people who will use or view the digital product that you produce. So මං අහන්නේ user group එක කවුද වෙන්නේ?
අපේ age category
Yes, ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට ගන්නවා නම් we'll have to take the age category starting from let's say 13 plus. Yes, 13 plus, but there has to be a upper margin also නේ. upper margin එකකුත් තියෙන. දැන් මෙහෙම දැන් Call of Duty වගේ එකක්. Now I played Call of Duty while Call of Duty came out while I was doing O level, I think. Yeah, those days ඔය කාලේ Call of Duty ආවේ. එහෙනම් interesting. ඉතින් අපි පොඩි කාලේ ගහුවනේ ඔක දිගටම. ඒක නිසා now we are still hooked into that what do you call this game මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? Game genre එකට අපි ඒකට තාම hook වෙලා ඉන්නේ. අපි දැන් ඒක පාර ආසයි ගහනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ when there's something new released, we want to try it out. So then, but then again, we will have to keep a upper margin also. Ne? Let's say if we are releasing a game, අපි දන්න maximum 40s 50s වගේ තැනකින් නවත්තන්නත් වෙනවා නේ. So that is what you have to be careful of when you're thinking about the user. The reason we talk about these facts is basically because applications can be designed for different types of people. So that's why we really need to focus on this, because in your questions also you get the second paper. In that second paper, it comes as a case study, and in that case study it asks you some questions depending on different users. So you have to be careful. You have to specifically do it according to that selected user group. අපි ගරම් papers එතකොට ඔක එච්චර ගාණක් එන්නේ. හරි, okay, now that's good. And then the layouts. So the layouts is basically the way you basically will be doing a presentation, or whatever the application, or whatever the poster which is going to be sent out, right? So example is layouts can be multiple different things. Now you can see here, this is a presentation layout. It can be a presentation layout, or it can be a website layout. I know this is not good, but yes, it works. Right? And here, I know it's Twitter, X නෙමෙයි, මේ පාරන පොතන්නේ. So now this is the Twitter layout, right? So these layouts are also very extremely important. Okay, Mahanna, another question. Both of you use Facebook also, is it? You have accounts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay. No, yes or no? No, the give yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What about Siluri?
Sorry, sir, I didn't hear that.
I mean, do you have a Facebook account?
No.
What about Instagram, IG?
I have.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Only Instagram. Perfect. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Okay. So let's say, tell me a clothing brand you buy. Normally, you purchase clothes from.
H&M.
H&M. Okay. What about, okay, so H&M, and do you buy it online from their website?
Yes.
Oh, okay, nice. Perfect. Fits the criteria perfectly. Okay. Now, when you purchase something from H&M online, or let's say Mimosa or Kellyfeld or any other location, or Ariante, all these pages, once you go there and when you buy something, next day when you browse in IG, don't you see their advertisements? You tend to see them, right? Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole concept behind this particular layout and the experience. Okay, so what they do is now you guys know this particular layouts, this layout itself. I read an article long time ago. This was like very long, almost more than 10, I think about 10 or 15 years ago. Facebook got uh, Facebook basically hired a set of NASA scientists to advise them on building the Facebook wall. Okay, back at that time we didn't had Instagram. Yeah, we didn't had Instagram. It's just Facebook, and the Facebook wall was there. Twitter was there. So they hired NASA scientists to psychological and some analytical people to basically go through analytical data and to come up with this layout. So I know this layout seems very straightforward and simple, but there's a big, massive lot of research behind it. That's why we get hooked. So same thing with TikTok. So the TikTok algorithm and all these the layouts, how it loads, the way the actions, the to make it very smooth to perform this stuff, that will keep you hooked into the platform. And what happens when you spend more time in the platform? You tend to see more advertisements. More advertisements means more revenue to the platform. So you are basically spending time, yeah, you are like giving time to Facebook and IG, and they earn money out of showing you ads. Good business, eh?
TikTok එකේ ඉඳලා පැයක් හිටියම මැසේජ් එකක් එනවා. පැයක් හිටිය කියලා.
නෑ එහෙමද?
ඔව්. තව ඉන්න ඕන නම් මේ ඕකේ දෙන්න ඕනේ.
මේ ඕක මොකක්ද ඒක මරු වැඩේ. මම ඕක ඇත්තටම තියෙන්නේ මොකටද දන්නවද? TikTok එක පැයක් ඉන්න එක නෙමෙයි. TikTok app එකෙන් දාලා තියෙන alert එකක්, because I have seen this multiple times. I hope my wife won't watch this video. I have caught her multiple times sleeping while a TikTok video is playing. ෆෝන් එකත් හොඳටම රත් වෙලා, ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයා දැන් පැයක් දෙකක් විතර දොයි. හැබැයි අර මෙහෙම ඇඳේ මෙහෙවිදගෙන ෆෝන් එකත් වත්තලා බැටරි එකත් වැහලා මම හිතන්නේ ඕකයි ඔය වැඩේ දාලා ඇත්තේ. because හරිනේ ඉතින් ඒක ස්ටොප් වෙන
ඩේටායි බැටරි යනවා ගොඩක් ඒක.
ඩේටායි බැටරි යනවා ගොඩක්. අනිත් එක බැටරි එක යනවා මොකද මේ if your phone has a HDR display, high dynamic range display, it has HDR content නේ. content එක ආපෙදී brightness එක full peak වෙනවා. brightness goes up to 100%. if you have a HDR display phone with an HDR display. කොහොමද brightness 100% ලා විනාඩි 10 මේ පැය භාගයක් විතර මේක තිබ්බාම battery drains instantly. That's good that you told that. Thank you. That's good that I got to know about it. හැමදාම රැට නැත්තම් කියලා ඔක බලන්න ඕනේ. ඔක නැත්තම් manually I have to turn it off, otherwise okay, so that's the thing. And these layouts are really important. So now hope you guys got the idea. So all of these works in a specific ecosystem, layout, and in social media, how they react. So I of course got out of it. I had a long break with TikTok once. I mean, because I started posting some new videos. But then again, one day I was like going to sleep, and I was like, okay, I was like going through it. And ටිකක් වෙලා බැලුවා ඇති ඇස් දෙකත් හිතෙනවා ඇස් දෙක නිකන් වේරිලා වගේ බලනකොට I started going through this around 10:30, and when I checked the time it was close to 1, close to 12. ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමත් 1.5 hours විතර ගිහිල්ලා I literally didn't felt the time. කෙලින්ම uninstall කරලා දැම්මා. Then I took a long break. I used to follow all these car modifications. These are like really interesting. අර ඒක අර
දවසට සර් මම වීඩියෝ බලනවා 400 ගානක්.
කොහොමද කවුන්ට් කරන්නේ?
එතන සර්ච් බාර් එකට ගිහලා ඩොට් එකක් දැම්මට පස්සේ හිස්ටරි එක පෙන්නනවා.
Seriously? Ade,
Yeah.
I, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. I watch all these custom modifications. I really have the passion to do that, but don't have the funding right now. But I really want to start a car modification company to bring down these different types of car kits. ඒක කොහමරි කරන්න ඕනේ මට මාර ආසයි වැඩි පටන් ගන්න කවදාද. Anyway, okay. So, yeah, jump back. So, yes. So, we have a pattern. So, ideally, we do go forward with some different types of patterns. It can be a title and the logo position. It can be images, and it can also be white spaces, right? So, sometimes white spaces also are necessary depending on the layout. So, so for this, we do have, if you are using Word, then obviously you will have Word document styles, which will basically allow you to come up with different types of document styles and use them to style your document. Or when you are starting to create a new document, you can use them to start with a base style, right? Okay, so we have this concept called house styles. Okay, so house styles are basically specify some documentation on how you should basically continue a design based on a corporate identity. Okay, okay. So what's the corporate identity of Coca-Cola? What are the colors?
Red.
Is it only red?
White.
Red and white, exactly. Exactly. What about Pepsi?
Blue.
Blue and
Blue and white, ne? Blue and red උත් තියනවාද?
Red උත් තියනවා නේ.
Blue and red උත් තියනවා නේ? I think so. What about Nike?
white and black.
White and black, yes. Yeah, they do use with two colors. Apple?
A phone.
Nah, Apple monkey. Apple. It's still black and white, no? Their color scheme, right?
Yeah.
And so based on this, so different companies, they do follow something called a corporate identity. Okay, so this corporate identity is really important for them. I mean, for the company, because whatever the posting material or websites or content they build, you must follow this corporate identity. So here, this can be a certain set of styles. It can be colors. It can be styles. It can be, let's say, spacing and different types of cuts and so on and so forth. So this is a key. You just need to keep this in mind. It's known as house styles, or we call it as corporate identity. Okay, guys, please do highlight this point as well, this part. So Silani, I think you can select this text and you have the option of highlighting this. So I'm
Yes,
not,
sir.
yeah, perfect. Okay, keep it highlighted so that you can refer to it later on. Okay, so that's about the house styles, and at the same time you do have like different types of logo designs and all. That is also based on the company. That changes based on the company. Okay, so usually the house styles here, as you can see, it can be images, it can be colors, it can be a specific logo, or it can be a font. So fonts are also there, and white space, as well as it can be specific layouts. Okay, so all of these can be factored in when it comes to creating a corporate identity. So I've been in the corporate industry for almost like for the past almost 15 years. So I know people take this very seriously. Once I did a project with HSBC. I was part of a project which was done with HSBC. I'm not sure whether you guys have noticed HSBC එකේ තියෙන අර පොඩි රතු පාට කෑල්ලක්. චූටි රතු පාට කෑල්ලක් කැපිලා වගේ එකක්. හරි. So whatever the document they basically send you, there's this small red color arrow right at the bottom of the document, above I think couple of inches. I can't remember the exact specification. ඔය කෙහෙම රතු පාට කෑල්ල ඕක දාන්න කියනනේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්. We were doing some sort of a report. I can't remember what we did. We did some sort of a report generation project, and they wanted that red color small thing in the report also. We had to go through a very hard time trying to find a way to put that, because ඒක තියෙන්නේ, okay, so both of you have printers at home, right? You know how printers work, no? Can you print at the edge? පුළුවන්. කොලයක් ගත්තොත් edge එකේ print කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? edge එකේම.
බෑනේ.
edge එකේ ගහන්න බෑ. ගහන්න බෑනේ. seriously පුළුවන්ද? You can't, right? Yeah, you can't. That's the thing. Now, that red color thing should be on the edge. I think to find a way to do that. No, so that's their requirement. So they need their logo onto the top left-hand side corner with a specific padding, and they need that red color thing on the bottom. So what we did was, ultimately, we asked them to get the papers printed. I mean the report paper printed, and to use that paper. මොකද අපිට ගහන්න බෑ, ඕගලන් ගහගන්න ඉවරයි. So ඔය වගේ අමුතු දේවල් වෙනවා when it comes to branding. And at the same time, these branding things, they take it very serious, because there is a, now when it comes to foreign companies, now HSBC was a foreign company, so problem is, whatever said and done, they have to follow the brand. If they do something which goes over the brand rules, then the local company gets penalized. So if they, let's say, if somebody reports them that saying, okay, they have not done it accordingly, HSBC head office එකෙන් ඇවිල්ලා මෙහි එකාගේ බෙල්ලෙන් අල්ල ගන්නවා ඊමේල් කරේ නැත්තේ හරියට කියලා. So because of that reason, they are really scared. And so it's good in a way. So they basically continue the uniformity. So that's why we learned about that point. Okay, super. So then we talk about font sizes. Okay, font styles. So font styles also, it's the same thing, but same thing similar to what we talked about font sizes and all. But here we do have two main different font styles. Okay, so what we have is a style called serif, and we have a style called sans serif. Okay, so we call it serif and sans in the industry, IT industry, but you can call it sans serif as well. Okay, so මෙන්න මේ ටික තමයි වෙනසකට තියෙන්නේ. serif එකේ, can you see that in this font you have these nicely pointed edges? Okay, so this is technically the idea behind serif. Okay, and when it comes to the sans serif, you do not have any of those points. You have a clean font. Okay, sorry. So that's the primary difference between these two. So usually when it comes to typing and letters and all, we actually go with this particular font, with the serif font, where you will basically have these pointers. And according to the word, so just keep this in mind as well, if you can highlight this part. So the word sans means without in French. Okay, so when we say sans serif, that means without these small lens. Okay, that's why we have the clean character. Okay, so there's nothing much complex in this thing. So it's clear, right? Shape ne? You got the idea? No? You have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yanuka, clear name? All good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect. So, and then we have the color choice. So, the color choice, um, okay, give me 1 second. We'll just check. Yeah, I can actually. Yeah, we don't have a lot to cover up. It's just a matter of discussing few things. So, guys, shall we just directly do this and finish this part off today? Are you guys okay with it? I can finish it off in around 6:30 maximum. All good?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yanuka, you all
Yeah,
good?
sure.
Okay, then we can basically wrap this entire part off. Then next week we can get our hands dirty with the actual work, physical, like the practical stuff. Okay, so I'll go through this as seamless as possible. Okay, so we talked about few things. We talked about branding. So sorry, selecting a template, what type of a template we need to select, and we talked about colors, what type of colors and styles which we are going to use, and then we talked about the fonts, right? Now we are jumping into the next important point, which is colors. Okay, so colors plays a massive role in everything. Okay, so when it comes to actual colors, there are different types of meanings behind colors as well. So sometimes you have some people use these colors of your chakras. You have 7 chakras, so it emits a different type of aura. Okay, අපේ මේ අපේ auras තියෙන මිනිස්සුන්ගේ. So බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝගේ රැස් වලල්ල තියෙන්නේ. So Buddha has the aura, and that had different colors, no? So likewise, so colors have a massive impact on how you plan to create a design. Okay, and and how people interpret it. So okay, um, I'm not sure whether you guys have seen it. Have you guys seen the McDonald's movie? The story behind McDonald's. නැද්ද?
No, sir.
ඒක ලස්සනයි movie එක. McDonald's මේ give me 1 second. I'll just yeah, the movie's name is Founder. This is the one. Cool. Yeah, this is the one. The Founder. If you guys get a chance, please do watch this movie. Quite interesting one. Na? ඒක මේ ඒකේ සෑහෙන you get the chance to learn how this guy built huge empire out of nothing. Okay, so anyway, that's a different story for a different day. But then again, what I wanted to tell you was that golden arches. Okay, so ideally he came up with that logo was because when that location, so the first location they started, that had that yellow color arches in it, right? And then, so since people got so much used to that particular location, they got used to that logo, right? And that logo had yellow color lights. Sorry, that place had yellow color lights. So they transformed it into a yellow color logo. Still, in the world, they use the same sign. And even for you too, if all three of us, wherever if we go, if we see that logo, we know it's McDonald's. Right? And let's say Yanuka wants to start a burger shop, and if you try to use the McDonald's logo, ලොකුත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ, ලොකු දෙයක් නැහැ. දවස් දෙකක් තුනක් ඇතුළත ගෙදරට කට්ටියක් ඒ වට දෙකක් දීලා අරන් යයි. Because they have registered that logo all throughout the world, so nobody else cannot use it. If you use it, then that would be a copyright infringement, and you can end up in jail. Okay, so that's the whole idea behind basically those colors. Huh? So when it comes to colors and the and the structure of things, it really gives an impact. Now example is, so here you can see we have two books. So one is a kid's book. Obviously when you look at it, you can easily say this is a kid's book, and the other one is basically a story, um, a fiction story. I no, not a fiction story. That's a this thing. That's a poster, right? Yeah, this is also a poster. So these two are posters. Now see the difference. Now let's say if this was created with these colors, then it's going to be totally out, right? බලන්න උන් ටිකක් ඔළුව අවුල් වෙනවා මොකක්ද මේ කියලා. Because kids, that has to have its own different feeling. Okay, so I hope you guys got that idea. So now, how do we do this? We use something called, we call this the harmony. Okay, so harmony, the reason we call this is we have this concept called harmonious colors. Okay, so there's this thing called the color wheel, and this color wheel will obviously give you a certain set of colors which will match with each other. Okay, so let me show you guys how to really try this out. Okay, hold on, I'll switch my screen. Okay, and let me open up the color wheel. So this is the Adobe, this is the color wheel. This is technically the typical color wheel which we use when it comes to building systems or building colors or building color palettes. Okay, so here this is what we call as selecting harmonious colors. Okay, so see how it works. Now if I move one of these, see the rest of the colors are coming with the same structure. Harry, can you see here you have the color harmony? The color drop down, you can see this, right? So when you select on the color harmony, you have a certain set of color harmonies you can select. Okay, now this is analogs. So you have the monochromatic. See, if you select monochromatic, see what happened. Now if I move this, see it's basically moving to that particular color range. Then if I go into triad, that means we have 3 locations, and by moving this, these colors gets changed. So this is what we know as harmonious colors, which will basically work on a base palette. Okay, so you do have complementary as well. I'll make a chat. I'll put this link. Everyone. Okay, I sent it on the chat. So you can see complementary, it works like this. And you can shift the colors as well, but you can't shift the position. You can switch how it works, and this is how it works. Okay, and also you have split complementary, something like this. See, okay, and you have square. So square, you can move these ones here and there, but the square is fixed. See, and then we have compound, we have shades. So shades will be basically based on one particular thing based on its own range. See, so if you take this one, you can move it back and forth to create more ranges. Okay, and one last thing, you have custom. So custom, you can bring as much as colors you want from multiple locations. It's like this, and you can then select a color palette. But see now, when I did custom, මේ ඒක ඉවරයි ඉතින් දැන්. මේව කරන්න බෑ ඉතින්. Right? So you guys got the idea? Shape නේද? Got the idea what is known as harmonious colors? Okay. Now here, now you can see, now in this part, when you go to explore, now here you can see some examples. See, so if you take this picture of the aurora, you can see these are the colors which it represents. Here you have a picture of a car, and these are the colors it represents. Likewise, you get the option of going through multiple different types of color schemes. So that is it, but you can actually say, search. Let's say, let's search school. See, these are the school colors you have. So these are like all already pre-built color palettes. We can actually use it, and it's easy. So when you are building something, we can use this type of a color palette and work on it. And there was an option, I think this one, yes. There's an option where you can actually steal a color palette also. So let me do something like this. Coca-Cola, okay. Let's try to get the Coca-Cola color palette. So we'll save this. Save image as downloads, save, and can I okay, svg png, load, and this guy is analyzing the color palette, and it gives you similar color palettes. See. Okay, super. So this is how it worked. Okay, and then at the same time you have this new feature called lab, where you can actually drop a vector artwork, and you can actually recolor it and see. So I can't show you the logo because since that's the official logo itself, but since I share the link, you guys try it out. Okay. Any questions about that?
No doubts, thank you.
Okay. Got the idea, right? So that's the way it works, and we spend massive lots and lots of hours going through these color palettes when it comes to the industry, because sometimes when we start a project, what we get is the customer provides you with the logo and the branding, and sometimes they give you the colors as well. If they give the colors, let's say if the customer's logo has only 2 colors, then it's problem. So let's say if it is green and light green, we need to come up with a third and fourth color to build the platform, to do whatever we are going to do, like to create the presentation or so and so forth. Then what we will do is we'll use this type of color palette, and we'll come up with a specific color palette for this. So these are the ones I just showed you. So this is the analog colors, and you have the spin complementary colors, as well as those 2 are the ones which is displayed here, but I showed you all the available colors which is in the Adobe official website. So next option is choosing a color palette. Now this is the hardest point, right? Thinking of 2 or more colors and objects, it's going to be a real hard, tough challenge on how you are going to select these colors. There can be situations where some colors won't or doesn't go well with each other, right? Some colors can cause problems. Some colors can give a bad vibe, right? Sometimes you might get a bad vibe when you look at a color because that color is off or something like that, right? So there are like different types of colors. So the idea is basically you have to be careful. You have to make sure that everybody can see it, and the color palette and the contrast have to be properly selected. So when it comes to colors, we have one more pain point. Okay, that is known as colorblind people. Okay, so colorblind people. So color blindness is actually a disease. There are people who actually cannot see some colors. Some people can see red as green. Some people can see yellow as green as yellow, blue as red, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, okay. Yanuka, මේ notice කරලා තියෙනව නේද? ඔය shooting games වල මේ cross hair එකේ colour එක මාරු කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. Have you noticed it?
cross again?
Cross hair එක අපේ මැද ත්‍රිකෝණය මේක තියෙන්නේ. මැද මෙහෙම cross hair එක. ඒකේ පාට මාරු කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා note කරලා තියෙනවද?
නෑ.
අයියෝ හැම ගේම් එකකම පුළුවන්. Call of Duty එකෙත් පුළුවන්. You can change the color. By default, it's either white or red, ne? White or red. But what happens if you can't see red? හරියනේ නේ?
අසල් කියන්නේ අර මැද තියෙන්නේ අර මේ shooting range එකේ.
Shooting range එක. අන්න හරි. ඒකේ
අපි අර ඉස්සර ගහන්නේ IGI2.
IGI, yes. ඒකෙත් පුළුවන්ලේ.
අන්න ඒකෙත් පුළුවන්.
Yes. Counter Strike උත් පුළුවන්. Counter Strike එකෙත් ගොඩාක් colors දාන්න පුළුවන්. You can change the color because මේ නැත්තම් පේන්නේ නැහැ. Have you played Doom? Doom Eternal මේ that also has a color blind mode. ඒක දැම්මාම හරි ලස්සනයි. මේ blood
ඒක notice වෙනවද?
නෑ enemy notice වෙන එකේ මේ මං එකපාරක් දලා try කරා. There was a one palette blood becomes yellow. So weird to play the game. It's a weird thing. But then again, for a colorblind person, then he should play it like that. So that's the next important thing when it comes to colors. So you have to make sure that you select it. Yeah, colorblind part. And then, so that is the idea behind colors. Okay, so we talked about templates, fonts, colors, and the structure. Now, about checking. Hari, this is not actually going in a structure. This is just like throwing out of a lot of information at you. Because the reason that this is throwing a lot of information at you is this topic is basically preparing you to get into the topic 6. 6 එකේ මේ ටික අහනවා. So මේක නිකන් අර හිතන්න this is kind of like a preparation for that. That's why I also told you guys you don't need to take any notes because you can keep this as a reference when you are working on that. So okay, so that's why there is no such thing as that much of a connection in between. Okay, so checking tools, you guys must have already used this. So what is this? Siluni, what is this one? Why do we need the checking tool? Yes, any suggestions? Maybe boy the number word both of you have done done stuff on Word Excel?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so you must have seen this window, right?
Yeah.
That is for the grammar checking, spell checker. Yes? Exactly. Yes. So now this is a checking tool. So you have automated checking tools as well as you have manual checking tools. Now, when it comes to checking tools when it comes to the tools which we are going to use, This would be one of the primary tools which you will be seeing on day-to-day basis when you are using the entire office platform. So this will help you basically to check if the spelling is correct. So there is a small point when it comes to this. So usually when you install Windows, you install Windows on US language. Okay. In Sri Lanka, we are supposed to use UK English, but now it has changed. Some people use English, some people use UK. But ideally, when you're writing answers for a European based or UK based examination, technically you can or you should follow the UK standards. Okay, so just something which I just kind of came to my mind. So how do you check this? It's quite simple, straightforward. You get the error notification under the under the text, and then you click on it, you right click on it, you get the spell checker and you get the spelling and you go through it, right? At the same time, sometimes you get the read aloud read aloud option is as well. So it will basically read that file, read that text, okay, aloud. And then at the same time, it will also sometimes it can identify contextual errors as well. So contextual errors are something like grammar errors, which will basically which people can basically make. Now in this case, here it says I were walking along the street. Okay, now this is wrong. So this basically gives you a message saying resolve subject verb disagreement. Okay, so it's basically asking you to fix that verb so that it would be corrected. Okay, so that's the part of a checking tool. As well as now we have proofreading as well. So there are proofreading tools where it will be basically automated. It will use an automated checking, and it will go through the entire content. Okay, so that's good. Okay, this is an activity, so we'll do the activities once we jump into the fifth one. Sorry, the sixth one, then we can actually check this. Okay, and then okay, final topic, the strength and weaknesses and suggested improvements. Okay, so what is this? Now when you are building a product, okay, it can also don't mind the word we use as product. Method of product keyword, it can be a lot of stuff. It can be a presentation, or it can be an application, or it can be a software, and so on and so forth, right? So now when it comes to building anything, it's also actually a good idea to ask others and people who are in the same trade or people who are not in the same trade to look at your product and identify its strengths and weaknesses. Okay, now example is, let's say if you are releasing a okay, let's say if we'll do something, we'll do a small activity. Okay, let's say if all three of us are making a ride hailing app, something similar to Uber or Pick Me. Okay, so let's say Yanuka, can you tell me one strength about this type of an app, about Pick Me and Uber?
Uber has the 3D view of the map.
Are they seriously Uber has a 3D view? අයියෝ මම හරි outdated නේ මම දැනන් හිටියේ නෑ.
නිකන් පික් මී ගේ නිකන් කාර් එක නිකන් ෆ්ලැට් නේ පෙන්නන්නේ. Uber එකේ පෙන්නනවා 3D.
ඔයා 3D view කියන්නේ 3D නෙමෙයි. the map එක පොඩ්ඩක් අර ඉස්සිලා පේනවා.
ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ.
හරි හරි මමත් බැරි 3D view කිව්වා මං හිතුවා අර මෙහෙම කරලා 3D බලන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. එහෙම ඇත්තේ නෑ නේද? I was also wondering because technically එහෙම කරන්නත් බෑ. ඒකයි මං කල්පනා කරේ කොහොමද එහෙම කරේ කියලා. හරි. Okay, that's an advantage. හරි. Okay. තව මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? I mean strength එකක් ඒක හොඳයි that's a good strength but let's say it's
ඒකේ live location වෙනවනේ.
කියන්න බෑ මොකද්ද live location කියන්නේ?
උබේ කියන්නේ පොඩි ඉන්ච් එකක් හරි යද්දී මේ කායක ගැන විදියට ස්ලෝ වෙනවා.
pick me පැන යන්නේ නේ. පැන යන්නේ හරි ඒක හරි. Okay yes that's a strength. ඒකට ඔයා දන්නවද හේතුව ඇයි කියලා? මම නිකන් හේතුව කියන්නේ. නිකන් හිතලා බලන්න හේතුව.
ඒකේ මොකද අදපේ කියලා එක.
නෑ අදපේ කියලා එකක් නෙවෙයි. ඇත්තටම ඒකට හේතුව මේ දැන් ඕක අපි දැන් ෆෝන් එක තියන් ඉන්නනේ. දැන් මේ ෆෝන් එකේ තියෙන sensors හරි. මම දැන් මේ ෆෝන් එක මෙහෙම කරොත් මේකේ sensors ටික actively run වෙනවා. so ඕකේ වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ GPS sensor එක. දැන් ඕකේ තියෙනවා geo location වලින් යන්නේ. අපි යන්නේ longitude latitude තියෙනවානේ. so it calculates using longitude and latitude right. මම මේ ෆෝන් එක මෙහෙම කරොත් මේ චුට්ටක් අඟලක් කරොත් එතනත් ලැට්ලැන් වෙනස් වෙනවානේ. හරි. දැන් ඔක වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ every time when that longitude and latitude changes. Okay so if I move from this location to this location then technically the longitude and the latitude the place where I am standing on this earth changes right. ඔක ලස්සන වැඩේ Google කැත වැඩක් කරනවා. Google හම්බ කරන්නේ ඕකේ. Google Maps වල තියෙන සිස්ටම් එකක් ඔයාගේ ෆෝන් එකෙන් Google Map එකේ ලොකේෂන් එක රීෆ්‍රෙෂ් කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. දැන් අපි Uber පාවිච්චි කරනකොට Uber එකේ Google Map එක එක දිගටම රීෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙනවා. පික්මීට ඕක කරන්න බෑ. මොකද ඔය රීෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන පාර්ට් Google එකට ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. so let's say ඔයා හිතනවා දැන් පික්මී එකක් දාලා ඔයා දැන් ටැක්සි නෑ ඔයා මෙහෙම ඔලුව කහක කල්පනා කරනවා එහාට මෙහාට යනවා කියලා. අන්න අරහෙ බිල් දෙනවා ඕගාලා එතකොට. අන්තිමට මුන්ට කඩේ වහන්න යනවා ටික දවසක් ගියාම. You get the point. That's why it doesn't work. So technically it's a financial decision, not a technical decision. So it's financially they are having a tough time doing it. Okay. So that's the reason. Okay, thanks. Good stuff. Okay, Zeluni, can you tell me a weakness of PickMe or Uber? What are the weaknesses? ඕන එකක් කියන්න. Whatever comes into your mind is okay. Can be an answer. Any ideas? Yanuko, can you tell one? A weakness.
With me?
Either platforms. That is friends. We should be able to talk about weaknesses also.
Pick me cancel කරන්නේ ඒ දැන් කෙනෙක් ගත්තම ඒක cancel කරන්න අරක මොකද්ද submit කරන්න සීන් එකක් එහෙම කර දෙනව නේද උබේකට වැඩිය පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරුයි.
පික් මේකේ සල්ලි ගන්න බැරි මොකක් හරි තියනවා නේද? cancel කරාට ටක් ගාලා වට මේ දැන්
ඒත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට පෙන්නන අපි cancel කරලා නෑ වගේ.
මොකක් කරේ හොම තියෙනවා.
හරි දැන් location වැටෙන්නේ නෑ සමහර තැන් වලට.
So all weaknesses now. ඒකයි අර මොකක් හරි මේ සල්ලි රිෆන්ඩ් වෙන්නේ නැති උටපටේකුත් තියනවා නේද? සල්ලි කැපෙනවා. if you put the credit card, the payment goes through, but if they cancel, it doesn't get refunded. එහෙම මොකක්ද දෙයක් තියෙනවානේ මේ ඔව් ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. Okay, now yes sir.
අනික ඕබ එක මම හිතන්නේ cheap pick මේක ready.
මම හිතුවා අනිත් පැත්ත කියලා. I thought it's the other way around. එහෙම.
අපි දෙකින් යනවා.
Okay. මාත් ඇත්තට දෙකම තියෙනවා. what ඕනේ වුණාම දෙකම දානවා. what
ඉස්සෙල්ල වෙන එක දාලා
whatever comes first ඒක select කරනවා.
මාත් එන්න.
ඒක තමයි. මොකද නැත්තම් දෙන්නම එනකන් හිටියම දෙකම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Okay. Now I hope
දෙකම ආවම තමයි.
ඔව් ඒක තමයි. දෙකම ආවම සමහරලාට කැන්සල් වුණාට කැන්සල් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මටත් ඔක වෙලා තියෙනවා. මට මේ ළඟදිත් තුනා කොහොම දෙකක් දාලා ගිහිල්ලා මේ I think Uber came first, so I got into the Uber and I cancelled the pick me. But after some time, this guy is calling, sir, මේ ටැක්සි එක මොන්කෝ දැම්මා මං දාලා යන මග යන ගම මොන්කෝ මං දැන් ටික වෙලාවට කලින් දැම්මේ මං කැන්සල් කරන්නේ කියලා. ඒ වර මූ දැන් බයිනවා. එහෙම කොහොමද සර් කැන්සල් වෙලා නැහැ මට මෙතන පෙන්නුනා මම ඇවිල්ලා ඉතින් මට කරන්න යන්නේ කියලා.
අනේ ඒක තමයි.
Yeah, app එකේ වැරද්දක් ඉතින්. When I cancel it, it should immediately get cancelled. No? හරි.
අනික ඒගොල්ලන්ට කැන්සල් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්.
කී පාරක් cancel කරනවද? ඔය ඕකේ ලස්සන වැඩක් තියෙනවා. One time I had a very bad experience with me Uber. One driver, I was going to Kolpiti early in the morning, around 7:30. I was actually in a rush to go to office. Something happened, my car was in a garage or something. ඒක නිසා මම ටැක්සි එක දිව්වා. මේ මිනිහා ගෝල් රෝඩ් එකට දාලා පාරට අයින් කරලා නවත්තලා කිව්වනේ සර් මට යන්න බෑ බහින්න කියලා. කොහොමද වැඩේ? මිනිහා කිව්වා කොල්ල පිටියේ ට්‍රැෆික් වැඩි කියලා. මිනිහා කියනවා සර් මේ කාඩ් එක දාලා තියෙන්නේ මට යන්න බෑ මේ සර් ට්‍රැෆික් වැඩි බහින්න කිව්වා. මොකක්ද ඉතින් බැස්සා ඉතින් මනසට ගහගන්න පාර මැද්දේ බැස්සා බැහැලා I wrote a nice message. I wrote a clear message with his all details and all, and I sent it to the Uber support. They refunded all the money. මොකද අතන්ට මේ කල්බෝයි ඉඳන් ගාලුපාට මම හිතන්නේ it was about $150 or $200. Plus they gave me I think 500 rupees credit. This was actually when Uber was initially introduced in Sri Lanka. ඒ කාලේ මිනිස්සු බයයිනේ. දැන් නම් මම හිතන්නේ කරයි කියලා. මේ ඒ කාලේ I think the drivers were also kind of fairly new to it, no? So they were also getting used to the flow. I think that's the anyway. Okay, now I hope both of you have a clear idea about what this is, right? So now once an application is done, you need to have the strengths and weaknesses validated from someone else, especially through a third party character, because then only you can improve it. Now basically this PickMe and Uber and all these companies, they do have their own evaluation bodies, so they do have their own people evaluate themselves, and they check for strengths and weaknesses, and they start on creating the suggestions for improvements as well. So then only they can actually come up with a proper platform, right? Okay, so now once we get all these details, the strengths, and then we need to come up with a proper evaluation. So the evaluation is basically the process where we evaluate and see whether it worked, whether the system actually worked. So now this is a question which I had in my mind for a long time. Yanuka, why did they came up with 2 games for Call of Duty and Call of Duty Warzone?
I guess the graphics හින්දායි අර මේ තව මොකද්ද ඒක latest skills ඒව මේ ඔක්කොම update වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
හැබැයි ඉතින් මේ දැන් when we check this in a I'm just trying to criticize the system. අපි ඒක app එකක් හැටියට බැලුවාම evaluation එකේ හැටියට that's not a new version නේද? Is it a new version?
ඔව් ඉතින් එක normal Call of Duty update එක දෙන්නත් පුළුවන්.
අන්න ඒක තමයි මාත් අහන්නේ. මට ඕක තමයි මට මේ කාලේ තිස්සේ තිබිච්ච ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඒක. Why did they do that කියලා.
ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මාකට් එක තමයි සර්.
එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ වෙනම group එකක් නෙමෙයිනේ focus කරන්නේ. They are basically asking the same people to come and join and play. Yeah.
ඒගොල්ලන්ම තමයි.
ඒක තමයි වැඩේ.
මම දන්නේ ගැරීනාගේ support එකක් තියෙනවා සර්.
මොකේද මොකේද?
ගැරීනා free fire ද?
Yes. GG.
ගොඩක් දැන් Call of Duty එකයිනේ.
ඔව්.
අරගොල්ලෝ ගොඩක් එක කමිටිස් වලින් එකතු වෙලා separate ගත්තේ.
Warzone එක cross play නේද? You can play from like everybody is playing it together නේ. PlayStation, Xbox, PC ඔක්කොමලා ඉන්නවනේ. හරි. Okay. Now it makes sense. හරිනේ. අයි දැන් අරකේ cross play නෑනේ. That doesn't have crossplay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now it makes sense. එහෙනම් හරි. So when it comes to the evaluation, then that's okay නේ. එතකොට ඒකේ හේතුවක් තියෙනවානේ. Because that is the important thing there. Then yes. So so that's about the evaluation. And then so when it comes to the evaluation, guys, there are a certain set of questions you need to ask. Okay, so we'll just briefly go through these questions. So අපේ අහන්න පුළුවන් මෙහෙම එක. Did you select the best application for the job? Example, if you create a web page, did you use a text editor? හරි. ඒක අල්ලලා දාමුකෝ. අපි බලමු මේක මේ වගේ අහන්න පුළුවන්. So you are trying to travel from one place to the other. Did you select the best application? Did you select Uber or Pick Me, and why you selected it? Right? And then let's say you selected let's say okay I selected Uber කියලා. Seleni කියනවා I selected Pick Me කියලා. Then we ask the second question, did you consider using an alternative application? Katta. Let's say then in this case can say yes, I used Uber, but I was waiting. So since I got the first ride from Uber, I went through it, but I had Pick Me as well. So that means වගේ කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක් හරි එකයි මායි වගේ කස්ටමර්ස් හරි අමාරුයි. මොකද උන් හතර වටේම යනවනේ. ඔක්කොම පාවිච්චි කරනවා. But if the customer said no, I'm sticking with only Uber, then he is a valuable customer. So that means we can ask the next question. Why did you choose the application that you used? So then ඕක අපි දෙන්නගෙන් ඇහුවොත් අපි දෙන්න කියයි අපි choose කරේ නැහැ. වැඩේ වෙන්න නෙවෙයි අපි දෙන්නට. එතකොට අපි යයි අපි තෝරන්නේ දැනින් තරට යන්න. So that was our only goal, just to travel from one place to the other. Apart from that, we don't care about the application. As long as a taxi comes, then that's it, right? But let's say if I don't know, I'm just assuming, let's say if Siluni is a die-hard Uber fan, so she says no, I'm not going to Pick Me, I'm only going to stick with Uber. Then we can ask, why did you choose the application? And she might say, I trust Uber or something like that. And if there was a better application, why did you not choose that one? Then ඔන්න එතන තමයි අහන්නේ අනිත් පැත්තට ප්‍රශ්නේ. මෙන්න මෙයා ඉන්නවා, why didn't you use it? Okay, so then we can actually get a clear idea what actually you meant. ඔයාලගේ ප්‍රශ්න තේරුණාද එන්න? So මේක කරකවලා අහන්නේ දෙපැත්තට. So see, so here this asks, did you consider using alternative applications? If you did, what criteria you used to decide which applications to consider? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා මොකද්ද දැන් හිතමු අපි Uber Pick Me ගත්තා. If you used an alternative application, if you use Pick Me also, why did you use it? What is the alternative criteria? So it can be Pick Me ලාභයි. නැත්නම් Uber ලාභයි. That can be the alternative criteria, right? And then here you can ask, why did you choose the application that you used? So then අහනවා මොකටද use කරේ කියලා. Now let's say if you haven't used an alternative application, the second question of this will tackle that point, because the second question of this will say, if there was a better choice of application, why did you not choose that one? එතකොට ආයිමත් we are getting back to Uber and Pick Me Walk, and there we ask why you didn't use it. Got the idea? කරකවල අනිත් පැත්තට ගන්නවා. And then we ask what features made you choose the application, and were any of the application features unique, and how familiar were you with the application that you choose? Did that affect your decision to select it? Okay, so likewise we do throughout a certain set of questions, and we make sure that why you selected it. And again, same thing goes forward with the using of the application. Okay, and another set of questions goes forward with the effectiveness of your product. So here now using is just quite simple. What are the features you liked? What are the skills you learned during this? මොකක්ද කියන්නේ කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා, like did you apply that skills මොකක් හරි කරන ගමන් that you learned in this course, or were there any additional skills that you applied to that you had to learn, where such as tutorials and stuff, මොකක් හරි තව additionally ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනද, or did your understanding of the application features improved? I mean, this is why using the application, right? So this doesn't exactly apply to Ben Pick Me, but yes, when it comes to big gap, right? And then effectiveness of your product. So here we evaluate the effectiveness of the product by finding out how this product, how or if this product met your expectations. Okay, so did your products meet the needs of the client or brief you were given? මේ app එක හරියට මොනිටර් ටිකට ආවද? Or were your products suitable for purpose and their intended audience? And how do you know? When you ask, did you ask other people to check your products and check if it is good? And then finally, do you have the point, did you review others' products? So did you provide useful feedback on these products? I mean, අනිත්‍යව බැලුවද? ඒව හොඳද? And how that will improve your own skills and understanding. මේ බලපු වලින් අපේ දැන තියෙන skills and understanding එකට කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියන එක. Whether that would help කියන එක. හරි. Okay, so those are the primary questions we will be going through with. So, any questions so far?
Understood, sir.
Okay. Super. Then we can actually wrap it up. But I was thinking, without having this revision session back to back, shall we try to like switch the times, at least to put this theory into the morning and to get the revision to this time? What do you think? How is your availability?
So I have class in morning.
මම මෙහෙම කරන්නද? මම දාන්නම් මේ chat එකේ තියෙන time slots ටික. You guys just check and let me know.
Okay, sure.
නැත්තම් මේක දිග වැඩි. Now if we directly jump into the revision, we are just spending almost 4.5 hours together. ඒක කාටකට බෝරින් වෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ. ඒකයි. So we'll wrap it up for today, and please, I will share the video which I did yesterday where I explain all the papers and all the details, and then next week, so please go through these questions. මේ මේකේ තියෙනවා questions ටික. So these just some few questions, and then next week let's jump into software skills, and let's work on this. So we, how is it, straightforward, simple. We talk about file management, naming files. And what I want to do was let's do this with some exam questions so that we can just practice it one time and finish it off. Correct? So, okay. So, any questions so far?
No, sir, clear.
Save them. Okay. And you guys are okay with the way of teaching, eh? This pattern is okay, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Yanuka, you also okay, right? මේ green screen වැඩේ හොඳයි නේද? මේක ගන්න ප්‍රශ්න නැහැ. Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. Because when I'm coding, I'll be sitting down and then we have a full screen. එතකොට we can code on in that. Okay, super. So next week is when? Next week can first, ne? Oh, abhi first number, February 1st. All good. Perfect. Thanks. If you have any questions, please feel free to send a message on WhatsApp. Huh? I'll put it on the WhatsApp group and I'll be more than glad to help you all out. Hari? Okay. See you then.
Okay, so bye.
See you.
See you, sir.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, see you.
Good night. Bye.